What's going on, everybody? You know who it is. It is Elijah Best. I'm the CEO and founder of Vet Boss, and I'm also known as Vet Boss. Let's go. I got my man Jordan Ashton here, one of my clients. He's kicking ass, so I just wanted to share his experiences because I know a lot of people, when they're thinking about whether it's really any business, we naturally talk a lot about coaching, but a lot of people may not know what the heck a business is, let alone doesn't know what a coaching business is. I remember when I first looked into coaching, I heard the word life coaching. I was like, I don't necessarily want to do that, but I want to help people and inspire people, right? So like, what the heck is it? And I feel like Jordan Ashton is the perfect player right now to tell you guys, this man, I know you guys know it already just by looking at him. Super handsome, very like energy just radiates off of him. He's just killing it out there. And what I really love about him is his passion and his heart. Like every time I talk to him, he's like, Elijah, I got to get people to get moving. Like that's just how he is. I love it. So just how he is right now, he's the same exact way behind the scenes. And I love it. I love it so much. And so we're going to be diving into that. Jordan, I don't know if you had the chance, but I want to make sure you shared this on your personal page as we discussed, because I really want to make sure friends and family get that. So is that done?
Should be good to go.
All right. Awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it. So cool, man. Let's take it all the way back. Jordan is obviously a veteran too, hence Vet Boss, right? Jordan, what branch of the military did you serve in?
United States Air Force.
Woo! World's best Air Force. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, quick question. Before the Air Force, did you already know you were going to start a business? I'm just curious.
Before the Air Force? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Got it. All right. So, I saw this interview of Elon Musk, right? Joe Rogan, the guy they say that can talk forever about anything, right? Or something like that. Another or whatever. And he has Elon Musk. He said, like, hey, when you were a kid, like, did you know that you were different or anything like that? I'm just curious. It just came to my mind. Is that how you felt? Like, tell me about that for you.
Well, I think as a kid, I definitely knew that there was something a little bit different about me. I've always been a really curious kid, always, and that's developed into being an adult. I'm very curious. I was always a kind of kid that questioned everything. I know I was a very frustrating kid for adults to be around because I wanted answers. I wanted to learn. I've always been like that. So I never really thought about starting a business ever, as a kid or even in the military. So it's definitely been like a beautiful process to even see this, come to life.
I love it, bro. I'm already highlighting stuff. I love it. I didn't even expect that, bro. I definitely agree that the curiosity, like someone who's just curious for answers and curious for knowledge. Right before we hit the live button, Jordan's like, I feel like when I learn something new, I just level up. And I'm like, yeah, like, I feel the same way. So definitely if you're someone who's curious and you want answers, just pat yourself on the back and just know it may not be today you have it, but it's coming for you soon, and just keep doing what you're doing. All right. So we did an interview with Jordan about 4 weeks ago, I think. And at that time, Jordan was like 2 weeks into the program, right? So he's about 6 weeks in now. And at that time, Jordan was saying that, and I want you to put it in your words. Like, I think there was something like beating you in your, talk about when you said that you were like, hey, if I don't quit my job today, what the heck is going to change? So just tell me about like what life was like when you were going through that, like, should I do it? Because I know a lot of people are on the fence right now.
Yes, absolutely. So I had a great process, and I'm a very intense person. So my situation was a little bit maybe different than a lot of people. So I personally am not the kind of person where I can start something on the side and just dedicate like 50% or, I know my mind is just not going to do it. I need to be all in. So I remember the first pivotal moment where I knew that I could not stay at my job was one of my favorite places, probably my favorite place in the world, is Sedona, Arizona. It's a beautiful place. I love all the outdoorsy stuff, and I go there as much as I can. And I was having a conversation with my manager, and I was telling him how I wanted to live there. And he looked me in my face and he said, "You can't afford that, can you?"
What?
Yes, right. So I was just it was a crazy experience because once I reflected on it afterwards, I said, "Wow, like I just let a grown man tell me that I can't afford something," and it just did not make me feel good. It did not sit right with me. So that was like the first thing that like opened the door where I was like, I felt like my higher self was just like, we got to get you out of here, buddy. We got to get you out of here. So At that point, I started just manipulating myself in terms of I wanted to keep making myself mad at the situation that I was in and the situation that I was putting myself in. So what the next thing that I did was I asked for a raise from my company, and I did not want to get the raise. I wanted them to not give it to me. I really was like praying and meditating. I said, I hope they don't give me this raise, because if they give me this raise, then it's just a little more reason for me to stay. When ultimately I know there's something bigger out there for me, I just can't get myself to do it. So as I progress, I'm still like looking for all of the reasons why I need to leave this situation. So yes, thank you, Donna. I appreciate that.
Yes.
So the next thing that I did was I would journal. I would have conversations with myself. And I looked at myself in the mirror one day, and I said, Jordan, you are the highest performer at this company doing something that you do not want to do. What in the world makes you think that you would not be successful at something that you love doing? So I had these conversations with myself, and you end up realizing that you only have really one problem, and your only problem is self-belief. If you didn't have a self-belief problem, you would be doing the thing that you love doing. So I started going from, in Barnes & Noble in the book section, I started going from the self-growth section to the self-transcendence section. So I really started getting my mind around, really believing that I can do anything. And then the last day before I quit my job, I'm very frugal with my money and very responsible. So I already had enough money saved up. So I said, okay, Jordan, it's not the money. What is it? What is it? So I wrote down in my journal, I said, if you don't quit tomorrow, what will change that will allow you the confidence to quit your job? And I can come up with any reason. So at that point in time, I knew that I just had to face the fear and trust that it was going to work out. I did not have a plan. I did not know who Elijah was. All I had was, I'm doing this podcast and I'm trusting that everything is going to work out well for me. So I quit my job the next day, and I never looked back.
Bro, I can't wait to dive into this more. So many things. I don't know if you saw. I'm literally writing down stuff. Let's go into the comments real quick. Donna, we're going to get right back to you. What a concept. Go ahead. If you could type in your name when you're leaving the comments, I'd love to address you. Let's go. I see that already there. But it says, what a concept. There's people that live in Sedona already. You're already immensely wealthy, and there are people that have done more with less. Let's go.
Yes. Love that. Yes. Thank you.
Yep. So I like that, because they're basically saying, I believe too, is like asking yourself questions and breaking it down logically does help a lot of the time. I do talk about how the brain works in question format. So like you asking your brain these critical questions, I think some people struggle with the courage of even asking the hard questions. So shout out to you, Jordan, for doing that. We got Donna. I'm loving it, Donna. She says, okay, now you're really talking to me. She's been there herself, right? Sweet. And then Atiba, I hope I said your name right, brother. Way to trust yourself and step into the unknown, from Atiba.
Appreciate you, brother.
So real. So real. So what do you think helped you? If you could boil it down to one thing, right? Because I know people like those questions. If you could boil it down to one thing, what do you think was at like the biggest thing that helped you step into the unknown?
One of the biggest things that helped me is big shout out to Aaron. Aaron is my brother, my podcast co-host, my business partner. Love that guy. Yeah. So I remember Aaron and I had a conversation where he said, he asked me, what does freedom mean to you? And I remember having that conversation with him. And I remember I was speaking from fear. Like I was speaking from fear. My message wasn't really what I actually thought. It was what I could say to hold my perfect little life together, how it was. But it was a lie. It was really a lie. It wasn't really what I thought. So that question was burned into my brain, and it never got out. And I remember my company, there was one day where we walk in for our morning meeting, and we're on Zoom and everything, or it's like, yeah, it's on Zoom. And they said, all right, we're giving everybody assigned lunches. You have times that are assigned to you. And they said it's because you guys didn't police yourself. And it was like a wake up moment. I said, oh my God, these people can tell me when I can take lunch. Like it was like a wake up moment because you've been doing it for years or whatever, and then I'm go, oh my goodness, like these people have this power over me. And the question rang in my mind again, what is freedom to you?
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not free. I'm not free right now at all. And, and it's just crazy, when you think about it, because like, yes, there's people that are, working 9-to-5s and doing what they love doing. And, that's perfectly fine for those people. But I was not in that situation. I was not doing something that I picked. I was doing something that the military picked for me. And then I hear these people telling me, oh, you guys can't police yourself. You don't know how to. I said, I'm an adult. I started getting mad. I started getting really mad. I think anger was the thing that really drove me, because these people were not paying me for my work that I was doing. They were paying me for my time, and even that concept too, I was getting paid hourly. So in my mind, I had decided that I am worth this dollar value per hour. That is what my time is worth. And I said, that is a lie. I'm lying to myself. That is not what my time is worth at all. So I think that that's the biggest thing for me, was that question in my mind, what is freedom? And speaking of like big moguls, I watched an interview about Jeff Bezos and how he decided to start Amazon. And how Jeff Bezos decided to start Amazon was he was already making tons of money. I think he's working at a hedge firm or hedge fund. And he said to himself that he came up with a framework. He fast forwarded his life to, I think, 80-year-old Jeff Bezos, and he reversed back to look at himself right now. Yeah. And he said, will you regret trying? That's it. Will you regret trying this? And I said, and I related it back to myself, and I said, I will not regret trying this. I will definitely 100% regret not trying it. So there it is, like, boom. I'm like, I got to do it. I got to do it. No, don't have an exact plan. You don't need to have an exact plan. Once you get the self-belief in your mind that you're going to get it and it's undeniable, no one can stop you, that's all you need. You don't need anything else. You don't need a definite plan. Don't worry about the how, worry about the why.
Yeah, don't worry about the how, worry about the why. And Donna says, why do we always wait for anger to drive us? That's a really good question. I love these questions. Anybody have more questions like this? Keep popping it down. I love it. So I've always used that as my biggest motivator, but would be great if we could get brave enough to branch out before feeling that motivating anger. We are works in progress. And I love how you say we are works in progress, because I was going to say, I think because we all kind of started like ground zero, unless we have parents that have like super, super strong beliefs in this one area, right? Because we all start at different places in different areas. I feel like since we're starting there, that's like the first tool accessible to us. But I think when we get further along in our entrepreneurial journey, we start getting driven by just wanting it, because our confidence and self-belief grows so big. It's no longer can I, it's do I want it, right?
Yes. I guess real quick, Elijah, you just, when you said that word entrepreneurship, it reminded me of the best analogy that I have ever heard in my life for entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. So the analogy is there is a lion and a zebra, and they're in a zoo.
Yeah.
And the lion makes it out of the zoo and sees how beautiful it is to be out in the jungle in his natural habitat. And the lion comes back and tells the zebra, hey, you got to come out here. You got to come out here. It's way better out here. There's freedom out here. And then the zebra says, why would I go out there? I'm getting fed. I got everything that I need in here. It's perfect for me in here. And the lion is like, oh my goodness, like, no, you have to come out here. It's scary. Yes, it's scary. It's unknown, but I'm telling you, there's freedom out here and you can figure it out. And that is exactly what I felt like entrepreneurship was to me. I felt like I was born into a zoo, and my mind was made to believe that this is exactly how I should live my life, and I should spend 40 years in here and then retire just, when I can't use my body anymore, like that's when I get time off and my freedom to do the things that I want to. So that was the most perfect analogy that I've ever heard before for entrepreneurship, is that we are born into a zoo with this 9 to 5 life, and we believe that that's the only thing that we're supposed to be doing. But really, it comes down to the self-belief again, because if you have that self-belief that you can build something meaningful and important to you, you're going to do it. If you don't do it, it's because you don't believe that you can do it.
I love it. And Donna says, perfect analogy. And then we got one more. The Facebook user says, yes, I left my job in January and was terrified. I had worked since I was 14. Best decision ever.
Nice.
I decided what I'm worth and what my time is worth. I love it. And then we got Shonda saying, hey, what's up, Shonda? We got Shonda saying, you need to believe in yourself enough to get your mission rolling. Absolutely. An analogy that I like to use as well is like, you know, how they break in elephants is by when they're babies, they take a I don't know, like a string and tie it around a piece of a stick and they bang it into the ground. And then once the elephant so the elephant's too weak to move the stick out of the ground, right? Mm. When the elephant gets super big, it then still thinks that it cannot move that stick out of the ground.
Wow.
And so when I lived in Maryland, right, and I was living at my mom's house after the Air Force at this time, I used to go on a 7-mile run, and I would go and I'd see like valleys, and I would look at these horses that were trick horses. So they're training on jumping over high things. But you know those fences that just have like those two little pieces of wood? Like it's just like a piece of wood and a piece of wood, like a valley fence.
Yeah.
Those horses never jump over that fence.
Mm.
And I always thought about that. They're learning to jump over higher things right next to these short fences where they can get free. And then there's a river less than a mile away from them where they'd be able to drink and be free, like all the deer in Maryland. It's just very, very interesting to me.
Love that.
Yeah. Shonda says, let's go, Vet Boss. And yes, let's go. Love it, Shonda. I'm so glad you're here too. And I'm not sure if I showed this too, but I think this person said this when you were talking about your analogy, Jordan. So I love it. Yeah, man, this is all super great. Oh, this is what I was going to say too, is I'm noticing that you had a high self-belief in the beginning in yourself. All right. And I think that's why you associate yourself to a lion. Right. And I think that when that person told you when you can eat and stuff like that, it went against the belief that you had. Now you may have had to grow it more, but you already had that belief in yourself. And so all these things were unacceptable to you. So I'm saying that because if you're watching this and you're someone to where you can't even get to where you feel like Jordan is, yes, you can. Just go ahead and try to really get these beliefs in your head. And that's a great place to start. I know Jordan really loves the book Psycho-Cybernetics, and that is a book that is a lot about beliefs. Just out of curiosity, were you reading this book at that time? Did that book help you with your self-beliefs, or did you just kind of work on it with yourself?
I didn't read that book until after I quit my job. So the universe revealed that material that I needed.
Yeah,
I think I saw it on a TikTok or something. I saw somebody talking about it, and I said, okay, yep, I'll get it. And it doesn't take much for someone like me to be inspired and buy a book. Like I love buying books, and I definitely want to allude to like what you were saying about having that self-belief before. Mm-hmm. I would say like my self-belief was like this compared to now. Like,
okay,
I can't even fit it on the screen, you know? So like, even when I was working and it hit me the wrong way, I still didn't have that super rock solid belief because it still took me so long to quit my job. Like I remember getting out of the shower, walking from that door to this computer and hair dripping from just getting out of the shower, running over to my desk to clock in just in time. And as I'm on my way to my desk, I'm like, there's a voice in my head that's saying like, Jordan, stop. Like, what are you doing? Like, as I'm walking, like, stop, bro, just quit. Like, stop doing what you, and I clock in. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I did it again, you know? So another thing that I did, because I'm telling you, I was trying to make myself mad, is I wrote down on a whiteboard on my desk, I said, you make this decision every single day. And I wanted to pay for it every single time that I clocked in because my spirit knew that I was capable of so much more, but I couldn't get the human to do it for me. So I wanted the human to pay for it every single time that I clocked in, and I knew it was going to be only a matter of time before I got the courage to do it. So like definitely for anybody that doesn't have like a really big self-belief, I'm telling you, it's a repeatable solution and you can definitely do it.
Things that stand out, bro. Fire. First and foremost, I noticed that people who are successful above average, depending on what you define success as, right? This is really in any field, even a successful parent, right? They are people that start to see the separation between of the different. What's going on? He says, you guys are a great inspiration for this old Air Force vet. I'm so glad and humbled, and we're both very honored and humbled that you said that, brother, or sister at that point. Cool. So, they're able to start separating forms of self. What the heck am I talking about, right? Like mind, spirit, your human, your brain, right?
Yes.
I'm hearing all this language in you. And so I love it. And I'm super huge on using these things as tools to get yourself to get to your goal. So I'm noticing that you're putting yourself in torturous environments to get yourself to perform. And so I just really wanted to highlight that, because if someone is trying to get better at anything and they're doing that thing, they're going to get there eventually. It's only a matter of time. And then having a blueprint, I would say, of how to do it. And then that brings me to the next thing you said. It's a repeatable process. People who believe that things are repeatable, I also notice become successful quicker, you know? Air Force sister in the house. I see you, bros. Ooh, what's up, Karina? Love it. So I would say, if you want to be successful at anything, go look at someone who's doing that thing and it's repeatable. Like if there's someone who's a great mom and every time you're around her, let's say you go to her house, whether it's your auntie or your whatever it is, a friend's mom, and you see what they're doing, go have a conversation with that person, because I bet you're going to see that their beliefs and their worldview or how they see things are going to be different. And if you just adopt those things, or if you apply the strategies that they have on top of that, if my child is doing this, I believe in giving them space, whatever it is, right? Because I'm not a mom. So I can't give you live examples. It's duplicatable. So I love how Jordan said, even self-belief is duplicatable, because that's not something tangible. So it's very, like, I understand if somebody's listening to this and they're like, Jordan, you don't understand. I can't do that, which brings me, you're about to get me out of my seat, man. When he told me that he had a client, his first client yesterday before our group call, I literally ran out of this office and did laps. But this brings me in what you're doing right now, which is helping people with social anxiety make friends, right?
Yes.
Yeah, brother. So you are actually the one to talk about someone who has small belief or who has these things going on. And he has a great podcast, by the way. Shout out to Build the Machine, excuse me. I listened to it. It is phenomenal. Him and Aaron, his friend that he just said, oh my gosh. It was Boys Do Cry. Is that the name of that episode that I checked out?
Yes.
Yeah, man. That was an amazing episode. I can't even put it into words. Go ahead and check that episode out. I'm sure they have other great content. But Jordan, brother, please tell me how things were for you in life, like before you were this. Let me ask, were you always this confident guy radiating with positive energy, or did you ever experience a dark pit like most of us coaches?
Oh, yes, definitely. Like, I mean, I think for me, like I always had a decent amount of friends. So I never really had too big of a problem, like with friendships, but those friendships were usually because of proximity. They're usually from people that I was around a lot of the times. And then I was able to foster great relationships with these people. However, I didn't even realize that there was a whole another layer to this thing. And I remember if I just look back on the things, because I am a chronic overthinker. So I used to overthink like conversations or things that I would say to people, or I'd feel really bad, or I'd sit there and ruminate in my mind over thoughts and things that I've said, and I want to highlight that if anybody is an overthinker, that is a superpower to have. It is a superpower. The problem is if you're overthinking with database that has insufficient information to make you not realize the situation that you're navigating, then you're going to overthink with this misinformation in your mind. But once you put new good information with these books, you get mentors, and then you're overthinking about good things all the time. So I think for me, like it's just I almost don't even recognize the person that I used to be. And a lot of people will say that to me too. Like they'll say, "Oh, you're so different now," and then if they ever bring up something if they ever bring up something that I used to do or something or how I used to be, I'll say, I don't speak for that guy anymore. I said, maybe that was how I was. It's probably how I was. I'm not going to defend that person because I'm not that person anymore. So I think for me, just recognizing how much you can grow in such a short period of time if you develop that self-belief in yourself and you're open-minded and you're ready to receive, you can grow so fast. Like, and especially the people that are ahead of you, like Elijah is ahead of me, but I'm open to receive everything from Elijah. So he gives me everything that he has. So even the time that I've spent with Elijah, I don't recognize who I was before I met Elijah because he's just given me so much good stuff. So I think for me, learning from mentors that know a lot more than me, and seeing how fast you can grow if you just are open-minded and can receive everything from them. If you're not worried about, oh, well, this happened to me in my past, this happened to me, that stuff is valid that these things happen to you, but it's not essential to your growth in the future. Your past is not essential to your future. So once I realized that, I realized the power that I have as an individual because of the people that I've been able to glean from and the people that I've been able to receive from. I said, well, this is a repeatable solution for sure. And I see people that, especially like with social anxiety, this thing is just something that's got you. It's something that's in your brain that's got you. When you're out in public and your brain is telling you, oh, these people are looking at me, they're judging me, all these things. Like, it's just something that the anxiety is speaking through your thoughts. It's not you. It's not you at all. So like once I had that good understanding of that, and how much I love having all these people in my life and how much I love connecting with people and how much I just end up learning from all these other people's lives, I'm like, I want to give this to everybody else. So that is why I'm helping people that have social anxiety make friends, or just helping anybody that's struggling with confidence gain that confidence for yourself, fall in love with yourself so that you can connect with people and connect with your life.
Bro, so many things that you just keep dropping and dropping and dropping. You're like Batman with the utility belt. There's so many different things. I gotta write them down. Quick shout out to all these Air Force vets in the house, Donna and Atiba. Super cool. And what I'd like to do right now, right? Because we're in the Vet Boss Facebook group mainly. I know we're on your personal page and my personal page and good stuff like that. But I want to talk about this blessing that happens, right? Where you could take what you're passionate about and monetize it so you could do it full time.
Mm-hmm.
That's super powerful, brother.
Yeah.
You wanted to leave your job. You had faith in yourself, but you had to go through an internal battle. And you wanted to help people, and you were able to turn that around and make it your own thing already. So talk about that journey real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. So, man, I got to tell you guys, if anybody is a spiritual person in here, you're going to love this story because I know that Elijah was sent to me. I know that for sure. So I think it was probably about, what is it? Like, how long have I been in the program now? 6 weeks. So maybe about 9 or 10 weeks ago, I got this journal that was for productivity. And in this journal, it said, one of the particular sections said, what do you want in the next 30 days? Okay. So I put pen to paper and I said, I want a coaching mentor. So I wanted to find somebody that can help me put all the puzzle pieces together to make my vision come to life, because I know that it's very inefficient to not use other human beings to help you. So I wrote that down, and I'm not kidding. Anyone that's listening, I'm not kidding. 30 minutes later, after I put pen to paper, someone from Elijah's team reached out to me And it was crazy because they gave me a nice message that I'm proud, like, I love what you're doing, love seeing what you're doing, looking forward to connect. And I see the description and it says helping veterans start their own successful coaching business. 30 minutes after I wrote it down on the paper. 30 minutes. So I have the reason why I've gotten this far is because I do feel a connection spiritually. And whenever I feel like something's for me in my gut, I just listen and I follow. So after that, we got a call set up with Elijah, Aaron and I, and could instantly feel his energy. And when you're cut from the same cloth as somebody, you can just feel their authenticity. Like even through the phone, you can just feel it. You know, I can just feel this dude's energy. And I just was like, yes, this is the guy that can take me where I need to go. So man, even that is just so crazy because even our first phone call, I remember you had me give you my vision for the next 6 months. And you were the first person that told me that my vision was too small. And that's goes again with the self-belief. You know, I thought I had self-belief. I thought I have it. And then I got somebody telling me there's another level and you can do more. You can get more. So having somebody that really believes in you and really believes that what you can do was pivotal for me. And then, you know, fast forward 6 weeks later, the first time I really actually listened to what Elijah has got to put together in his program from 3 years of banging his head against the wall and living in his mom's basement. This guy is going through all these problems and all these struggles just to create a concise program that if you literally follow each step, it's a foregone conclusion that you will be successful. And so it took me 6 weeks to get my first client. And the only reason why it took me that long, which is not a very long time at all, is because that's how long it took me to listen to my mentor. That's how long it took me to listen to exactly what he's saying. And this guy is like, he's my kind of person because I'm a very accountable person. So if you tell me your dreams or if you tell me something that you want to do, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to check on you. I'm going to make sure that you're doing what you said that you're going to do. So he would call me and be like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, did you do this? And I'm like, nope, I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it right now because I know that he's got my best interest. I know that he's looking out for me. So you just, again, like you invest in this person, you invest in this program, and you invested in this program to listen to what somebody else has for you, not to make up your own, you know, your own program as you go and do certain things that you want to do and not do other things. Like, no, you signed up for this because you know that this person has what you want and they can give it to you. So once I finally got to the point where I listened to him, now I know I'm about to take off and I know we're just getting started. I had another sales call today. It was a no, but that's great because I'm of the mindset that I'm shooting for 10 no's.
Yes.
10 no's at least a week. So if I get 10 no's, that's a win. I know one of those eventually are going to be a yes. So I'm not worried about the no's. I'm looking forward to the no's. So definitely appreciate you, brother.
Bro, your energy is freaking amazing. It's priceless. And shout out to you because you enrolled your first client on your first sales call.
Yeah.
Impressive, bro. And then also, was that No the guy who you're talking about in the UK right before we hopped on the live, or is that someone new?
No, that's for tomorrow.
Okay, real quick, somebody says, I hear you just because you may have negative self-talk. It doesn't make it true, Atiba.
Yes.
Facts.
Yes.
That transitioning veterans, including myself, when I first transitioned, struggled with negative self-talk and had to learn how to overcome that, right? So what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, tell that story about the prospect that you have from the UK.
Yes, absolutely. So guys, I'm telling you, like once you get super aligned and you get aligned with your purpose and you don't worry about things, you always vibrate high, you're always feeling good, you find a way to feel good all the time, you find a way to maintain your energy and good things will happen to you, I promise. So there was a video that I recorded, I never posted it, but it was when I was having negative self-talk and negative self-belief. And so I do like, sometimes I just talk to myself, you know? So I was in Sedona and I was walking back to my car and I was making this video and I said, you know what's crazy, guys? I said that I found myself saying a story to people that are close to me about what I'm doing with my life right now and what I'm building. And then other people, I noticed that I was telling them a different story. And one thing that really bothered me about myself is that when I started this journey, I told my uncle when he first asked me what I was doing, I told him I was taking a break. And I was almost disgusted with myself once I heard it come out of my mouth. I was really disgusted in it, but it really made me realize, okay, you got more work to do, buddy. So I was making this video, and I literally said in the video, I said, I'm not taking a break. I'm building an empire, you know? And I said, I don't care if you're in the UK. I'm trying to make your life better. And what's funny is just earlier today, I was talking with somebody, a potential client, and they're actually from the UK, you know. So if you just listen and you have your eyes open and you're connected and you're positive and your brain is aiming for looking at all the positivity, it's there all the time. And I'm sure whoever's watching this, it's happening to you right now too, but you just might not have access to see these things. If you're worried about other things, or if you're indulging in negative self-talk, you don't have access to that divine being within you that can spot out all of these blessings.
Yeah, bro. And I would say it's also making the decision.
Yes.
Like, there's a difference between like, all right, I'm gonna do it, and like, I'm doing it. It's almost like the Matrix or something. Like the whole entire world will just change before your eyes, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, where have I been? You're like, what is going on? And it really starts with that decision. So why do I say that? Because even when he just decided, I will work with someone maybe even from like the UK, boom, UK has happened. When he decided, I need to quit my job, it may have taken him a few weeks or whatever, and whatever he needed to do, but it happened. Boom, that happened. When he decided, I'm starting a coaching business, boom, it happened. But it's scary to make the decision, and it takes self-belief to make the decision. So I would say, Jordan, once again, I firmly believe you're special. I think anyone can do what he's doing if they work at it, but I do think you're special in having that courage to bet on yourself, which is something anyone could do, once again, but you're doing it, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
And that's why you're having the results. So I love it, bro. Anything that you want to share with anyone who – check this out, because we're both intuitive people. First of all, most of the people we work with are spiritually inspired veterans. So if that's at you, holla at us. That being said, Jordan, I want you to just connect to your chest and feel whoever is watching this video and just say something that could help them.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a step-by-step instruction manual on how to quit your job and how to be an entrepreneur. And I'm going to break it down so simply. And if you want to have a private conversation with me about it, I would love to have a private conversation with you about it. Because somebody once told me, Jordan, it's not that easy to just quit your job and follow your dreams. And I said, no, yes, it is. I said, yes, it is. Trust me. Yes, it is. I'm saying, like, trust me, it is. But you just don't think it is right now. Because I was there. I was already there. So this is what I would recommend to anyone. One, before you even try to do anything, develop your self-belief. Develop it like no other. And what I mean by that is make it so that when you wake up on 10, that your energy and your aura is impenetrable. Doesn't matter what your mom says to you. Doesn't matter what your dad says to you. Doesn't matter what your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your sister or your cousin or your friend. Doesn't matter what anyone says to you. And if you don't have that yet, you need to develop that, or else you're going to tear yourself down. It's not going to work. Okay? So first, you develop your self-belief in yourself. Second, find someone that has what you want and ask them how they did it. And if you're worried about money, save up enough money so you don't have to worry about money while you're building what you're building. And this person that you find that has what you want will be able to tell you how long it'll take you to build it, so you'll know how much money you need to save up. Now, if money is really, really tight and you really, really still want it, don't make an excuse and say it's money. Live with your parents. Go move in with your parents. Look at this guy right here. This is a made man right now. And he sacrificed his life by moving into his parents' basement for 3 years. 3 years to develop a program that can get someone like me, who didn't have self-belief, to hire a client within 6 weeks of doing this guy's program. So there's so many people out there that have dedicated their entire lives to give us guidelines so that we can break free of this matrix and so that we can take advantage of our talents, our passions, and the reason why we were put here on this earth. And if you ever don't believe in yourself, just know that it's irrational. It's irrational to not believe that you can do anything. I think I can be Jeff Bezos. Do I want to be Jeff Bezos? No. But do I believe I can be Jeff Bezos? Absolutely. It reminds me of Kanye West. He was in an interview one time, and this guy asked him, is there any limits to your self-belief? And Kanye said, no. And then the guy said, well, are you sure about that? He said, yeah. He said, I'm sure. He said, if I wanted to be in the NBA, I'd be in the NBA. And then the guy says, no, you wouldn't. And he said, yes, I would. He said, no, you wouldn't. And then he said, yes, I would. He said, why do you believe that you can be in the NBA? He said, because I believe I can do anything. Right. And once you get that, you're unstoppable. No one can stop you.
Right. I love it, Jordan. And I really wasn't, someone just said, I struggle with this. I tell people I'm a stay-at-home mom. No, I'm a life coach. It's scary to put it out there. It is. And in fact, I wasn't going to share this because I'm still vulnerable about this story, but it's on my chest and Jordan brings it up. And Jordan, you are like my soul brother. Listening to your story, it's so aligned with mine that I'm just gonna dive into it. And why? Because if I was watching this video before I'm here, I would want someone to break down the process. And I think it's super valuable for my story, which is so alike to Jordan's story, for someone to be like, wow, I'm at that beginning stage. I can do it too. That's the purpose of me getting into my story. Because like I said, I'm still vulnerable about it. All right. Got out of the Air Force. Moved in with my mom. That sucked. Why? Because in high school, I was who I was. Then I joined the Air Force. Everybody sees that. Air Force is a great branch of the military. And then I go backwards, right? That's why that sucked. And then anyway, you get the point, right? So 3 years of me doing that. 3 years of trying to build my first company. I had wins. I had lots of struggles. I had moments where I'd cry in my car because I got too many no's, right? It sucked. So then I would go work for a startup, and then I'm along the way, I'm getting seeds. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not just sales. You need marketing, like all these new profound things. I remember I was working with a 28-year-old millionaire, and he liked me, and I drove around and learned sales from him. And then I learned it takes self-mastery. Why? One day he looks at my cell phone. Now I'm just like Jordan. I'm like trying to catch this guy. Right? He's like 2 years older than me. He looks over at my cell phone and basically goes, ew. Like, what do you mean? He was like, how do you have all those notifications on your phone? And I'm like, here's this millionaire that doesn't have notifications on his phone. So then I started eliminating distractions and started duplicating things. And then I learned enough stuff because now I'm helping companies have duplicatable results. I'm getting duplicatable results. But I didn't believe in myself to quit helping other people and focus on myself and move out of my mom's. But what changed was I was at the office in the company and I thought about Tony Robbins and I said, I want to be a coach. And guess what? I wrote it down on a piece of paper. Yes. I said, if I don't write this down on a piece of paper right now, I'm going to forget. That's how faint of a crazy idea it was. Then a day later, I stumbled across a Facebook ad. I learned and met a couple people. I started duplicating what other successful people were doing. And it gave me the missing pieces of turning everything I've learned over those years and then really believe that there's even a coaching thing out there, because at that time I only knew of life coaches. And I was like, I don't necessarily want to be a life coach, right? But I want to help people. And so I was able to figure out these missing pieces as well. And then I said, I'm going to move out of my mom's. And then guess what? Something came over me and it says, go live right now and post on Facebook that you're going to quit your job and make $7,000. And I was like, no. And I started shaking because if I have this strong conviction in my gut, like you, I have to do it. There's no way I can't do it. And then guess what happens? Right as I'm about to make the post, it says, no, say $70,000. So I go live on my personal Facebook page. I never really go live on my personal Facebook page. And I said, I quit my jobs. I'm moving out of my mom's and I'm going to grow a business and I'm making $70,000 right now. And I was shaking. Some people in my family hit me up and they're like, did you lose your mind? Like, you know, people respected you all your whole life and now you're talking crazy. People are going to think all this crazy stuff. You know, I called somebody and they're like, did you call me to ask me for money? And I'm like, no, you know what I mean? It was embarrassing. And guess what happened? A few weeks later, I get a telemarketing calls. Who answers the telemarketing calls? Nobody. Why did I answer? Couldn't tell you. Guy says, first of all, I made about 20K almost in coaching, right? Guy hits me up. And he was like, do you want to sell your house? Because I owned a house. And I was like, yeah. If you give me 50K, it wasn't worth 50K. Mm-hmm. But because I was trying to get to 70 and it was only like a month and a half, I was like, if you give me 50K, and he was like, okay.
What?
Yeah.
Oh
you see what I'm saying? So that happened, and you know, it was still bumps and bruises. Don't get me wrong. There was tons of stuff I can get into it. But my point in sharing that was I was there for 3 years and I owned that house the whole time. Mm-hmm. That you may hear that. I hope someone's not hearing that and thinking like, well, I don't own that house. My point is that was an impossible thing. I didn't think of that at all. You know what I mean? Yeah. But by making the decisions to even leave the job and all these things like that, I had no income coming in. You know what I mean? I'm paying for a wedding. I quit my job 3 weeks before a wedding that was in South Korea. So I spent so much money, and then I had a honeymoon. You know what I'm saying? It is crazy. And then I quit my job and donated a 1K to someone on GoFundMe right after I quit.
Did you buy the course too?
Huh?
Yeah. Didn't you buy the course too? Yeah.
Yep. I've invested in a course. I bought a course like 3 weeks ago, went $7,000 in debt. And then when I was in that course, I was like, this course is awesome. It works, but dang, it's not what I want to do. And then bought another course right after that for about 6K, all on the credit card. And like I said, swiped another 1K to freak myself out. Just like you play these games with yourself, I wanted to put my back against the wall. I said, if you got some of these other companies do millions, and if you can build, like, why can't you do these things? So now I'm asking myself these questions. And it worked. And here I am. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, super scary. And I just had to keep asking myself, do I want to be free? Which is the same question you were asking yourself. All right. Mm-hmm. And the thought of not being free scared me. And then I also read that most self-made millionaires do it because they want to have financial independence. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I'm saying. If you're someone and you're listening to this, Jordan he knew he could do it, but there's a level of fear in like, how am I going to do it? Same with me. And, you know, he found someone who's doing it. I found someone who's doing it. That person probably that person invested 20K in courses as well and quit their $200,000 a year job. It's funny now that I realize that. And he said that one day, he was having a conversation and somebody was like, what do you really want to do? And he was like, I want to, you know, travel and do all these things like that. And he says, well, why don't you do it? And he was like, oh, because I want to wait. And he said, as soon as he said that, he was like, damn, I'm bullshitting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, I could do it now or I could wait. And what did you say? You didn't want to wait 40 years. It's crazy, the similarities. So I hope you guys enjoyed me sharing that. I really didn't intend to. But I hope it empowered you and it was worth it. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, brother. Jordan, I want to hear, before we go, I want to hear more. The fact that you're helping people with social anxiety is so big of you, bro. They need a hero like you, and you're the perfect one for it. Look at you. You're so positive and all these things like that. So can you just talk more about that? If anyone has social anxiety and you just want an awesome person, even if you want like a friend, like whatever, he has a free Facebook group. What's the name of your Facebook group, Jordan?
The name of my Facebook group is Helping People with Social Anxiety Make Friends.
Okay. Helping People with Social Anxiety Make Friends. Go ahead and check out that Facebook group. He has amazing content. He's even doing like TikTok videos, super, super fun stuff. Go ahead and check out that group. And Jordan, what kind of people do you help, and what do you help them do?
Yeah, so I basically give people what I gave myself, because I feel like that's the only thing that we can actually do as human beings is we can only give people what we got and give it to them faster than we got it. So I'd say overall, I give people the confidence and the self-belief to be able to make connections with people, because two words that I can't stand that are like nails on a chalkboard to me is I can't.
Oh yeah.
I will slap you in the face with positivity if you tell me I can't. And I'll tell you exactly why you can. Say exactly why you can, and I'll tell you all the reasons why you are feeling this way. I don't know everything. However, I do know enough to remove the irrational beliefs that are in your mind, because I've removed the irrational beliefs that are in my mind. And I do have that Facebook group, and I post on there daily. And then if you don't have social anxiety, or if you're just looking for more confidence, or you're looking for more positivity in your life, follow me on IG. I post on there every day. My IG is JAYASH413. So yeah, you can get me on there. If anybody wants any coaching services, definitely reach out to me, and we can just go over like a complimentary call and kind of see where you're at, see where you want to be, and see if I am a person that can get you to where you want to be.
I love it, bro. And you're the one to do it. So I know that lots of people said this was helpful. So that's awesome. I just want to encourage anyone else, this Facebook. Oh, Samantha said that she struggled with this. She said, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm glad I'm rereading this right now. And she goes, no, I'm a life coach. It's scary to put yourself out there. It is, and it can be. So I just want to encourage you. I'm doing it. Jordan's doing it. We got a whole bunch of veterans doing it in our other group called Healers as well. So you can do it. Just know it's possible. You can reach out to people like me. You can reach out to Jordan. You got a whole community here in Vet Boss. This is literally filled with coaches and people doing incredible things. So this movement is so strong. If you're a coach or a spiritually inspired person, you're looking to build a coaching business, or other spiritually inspired veterans, please just invite them to the group so we can have more spiritually inspired veterans. When this started, I did not know there was such thing as spiritually inspired veterans, but we're out here. And so if you can help us find more people and bring them in this community, it's going to make it even better for everyone. So I love you all. Jordan, any last words, my brother?
Yes. So this community is amazing. It's not just Elijah. He is the best, but what really makes this community different is everybody helps each other. We're all at different stages along our journey, and we can pull each other up and we can help each other. I have private phone calls with other people in the group all the time. So this group is awesome. This community is awesome. There's not a lot of people like you out there. There's not. Okay. So you need to find the people that are like you, or else you're going to tear yourself down. So get with the people that are like-minded with you. And the last thing that I'll say is a quote that I saw that I love so much. It says, behind distraction, there's a dormant genius waiting to manifest in all of us. There's a genius for you in there. Let that person come to life.
That's real. All right. We're going to end it on that note. I love you all. We out here. We out. Peace.
Peace.